Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me this evening. Uh, Last session was pretty intense. So, our investigators were brought into PICA at the request of Reginald Billinghurst. Uh, One of our longtime proprietors of PICA had requested the presence of the organization at his deathbed. He, this individual, Rupert Merriweather, uh, had come down with some unknown illness and was basically on the throes of death. Uh, the following afternoon, our investigators made their way over to the hospital where they met with Rupert, his wife, and his young son, or middle aged son, were there kind of grieving with him and had been asked to leave the room. After they had left, Rupert began to regale some dark past where him and a few friends in college had become known as the Dark Brotherhood and had started performing some rituals out in a farmhouse just past Ross's Corners. Um, During this time period, they ended up inadvertently bringing some entity, or at least what he told the party was some entity had been brought into this plane of existence. And due to what happened during that evening, uh, none of them spoke about it. Rupert had been kind of like the keeper of everything that occurred, so he had a journal detailing what had occurred during that night. In his journal, which Violet had ended up reading, which the events detailed in there drove her a little bit, not insane, but played with her sanity a little bit, but gave her a pretty deep understanding of some of the Cthulhu mythos. Um, as she was reading through it, she kind of pieced together that they had brought been playing with something that had been believed to be a jinn, and once it had been brought out, the confidence of the group cracked, and one of the members had actually stepped onto the ritual markings and ended up breaking the seal, allowing the creature to escape from the ritual binding that they had. At which point, it immediately snapped the neck of one of the members and drove another one insane as the
God
limp
damn.
body fell onto him. Uh, the creature immediately disappeared, but they were pretty confident that it had been sealed to the house. And as Rupert and Marion, the leader of the Dark Brotherhood, had continued to research on the creature, they became pretty confident that the creature was tied to their life force, so that whenever every member of the group eventually died, it would be released, which is why Rupert was now reaching out to the group because he was the only surviving member and he was now on his deathbed.
God damn it.
So, in a cry for help, he had basically admitted that he was a coward and had asked the investigators to go out and do what he could not and send this creature back. Um, he gave them a small box that it contained the journal with all these details, the sarcophagus, which contained which originally had the uh, sort of amber crusted gin that was no longer in it after it had been released, and the keys and deed to the farmhouse that they had been practicing these deeds in. After getting all this information, the investigators had done some additional research. There had been some markings on the outside of the sarcophagus in Egyptian that they had translated. Once they got those translated, it didn't seem to provide any help. They also learned that there were some hieroglyphics on the inside in a language unknown to any of them. It ended up being Mew, but none of them had the ability to translate. And Rupert, or not Rupert, Reginald, he said he may know someone that could translate, but it was going to take a couple weeks, which the investigators
Yeah.
didn't feel like was going to be quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
Believing that they had as much as they were going to get out of town, they ended up uh, grabbing some gear from PICA before heading out. The night prior to that, um, they had all kind of gone their separate ways, or at least that is what Gillis had thought. He had went back to his residence there in Arkham and had cracked open some whiskey, Unbeknownst to him, Archibald had been tailing him using his private investigator skills and had been standing outside in the bush detailing the going-ons of Gillis. After getting properly equipped, the group had then used Gillis's vehicle, which had kind of been gifted down to him from his family, to head out to Ross's Corners. Archibald made it a little rough on Gillis, constantly asking questions and talking, distracting Gillis a little bit. But they eventually made their way out after their 2-hour trip to Ross's Corner, where they stopped in town to meet with Ma Peters, who kind of filled them in on the farmhouse and details of it. They had encountered a few of the other townsfolk and realized that they were all being kind of cold and distant from these outsiders. Ma Peters informed them that part of this was due to Maggie McFitter recently going missing. Now, it had only been a day, so she wasn't too worried about it, but she did tell them that that might be why there might be some misgivings. Learning that Maggie's house was right up against the farmhouse that the investigators were going out to investigate, they decided to make a pit stop there first before heading over to the farmhouse. When they had pulled up, Philip had come out and had engaged with them, basically informing them that his wife had gone out to tend to the horses the night prior, which was pretty normal. He had one horse that was kind of a pain in the butt. If I recall, it was Snowdrop, who would wander off in the wrong direction on regular occasions. He didn't think anything of it, but hasn't been able to find her since, and had asked the investigators to help find his wife if they could. Following this, the investigators had went over to the farmhouse, and it was kind of in shambles. You could tell that this farmhouse hasn't been interacted with for about 30 years, pretty much since that fateful night. No one had come back out. The lean-to is completely collapsed. The barn behind the house had holes in it. Archibald actually ended up getting cut on a piece of glass back there because of how the farm machinery and everything had kind of like been left all over the place, and just part of the roof had come down. The grass and everything was overgrown around the house. And while all of these things would be disconcerting, one of the major things was, as the party was coming up, they couldn't hear any form of life. So there wasn't any bird chirps, any other animal noises that they could hear within range of the house. So it was pretty like unsettlingly quiet. At this part, the party kind of split up a little bit. Gillis and Violet had went into the front room. At the same time, Archibald had gone back to the barn, and after the barn, he had went to go check the tree line that kind of separated the two properties. As he was doing this, he ended up running across a female body that had been laying out in the grass there. The blood in her clothes was still kind of wet, and there was a hole in her chest. About a fist-sized hole. Upon closer inspection, there wasn't necessarily a way to ID, but he assumed, based off of the missing persons, that this would be Maggie. While this was happening, Violet and Gillis had started hearing some noises from downstairs or in the cellar. They went to investigate, at which point Violet had been struck with a table leg as Red Jake, a hobo, struck her and then immediately made a break out the door. Quick to her feet to retaliate, Violet had tracked him down and grappled him, at which point they quickly discerned that he was in complete shock. His face was pale. He was muttering and just shaking uncontrollably, muttering something about a monster and being attacked and everything. Gillis managed to use his psychology to calm Red Jake down, at which point he regaled the party with the attack the night prior. So he had stopped at the farmhouse as he was kind of just moving across the countryside. He had made a fire, had eaten dinner, and a as the evening progressed, he started to hear noises from the attic above. After which he started to get scared, so he ran out the house, and he was quickly followed by some sort of creature that chased him into the forest. About the point he thought that he was going to die, there was some rustling in the trees around him, and the creature decided to veer off towards this other sound. At which point, Red Jake had then spent the rest of the evening hiding under a log, kind of just shaking and waiting it out. Just lucky that he hadn't been killed in that instance. At which point he had went back to the house to gather his things and get out of there. Unfortunately, that had been the point in time whenever the investigators had showed up, which is what drove him into the cellar. At this point, the party decided to let Red Jake go, so he went back into the back room of the house to gather his things. And this is where we'll pick back up. Let me switch over music, and I will leave it to the party for what they would like to do next. So we have two. Oh, sorry.
Is this after Red Jake has left the premises?
He would be in the back room. So I can give you a description of the back room to start. So really, we have two.
Drake,
I'm sorry.
Red Drake GTFO'd, right?
He's
about to.
Yeah, he went into the back room, so his stuff is still in the house at the moment.
Okay.
Can we kind of like, I want to call over Archibald and Violet in like the living room, kind of like away, so we can kind of have a private conversation briefly while he's getting his things together.
Perfect.
And as you guys walk over, you see me in a fidget sort of way grab my monocle out of my right pocket and put it up to my eye. And as like my large white furrowed brow scrunches down, I look over at the two of you. I'm afraid of what we might be dealing with here, and I don't want, trust me, I don't want to be the one admitting this, especially because of how much I know you're going to love this. And I pause for just a moment.
You see Archibald raise an eyebrow with like, yeah, he's having that like, you have me quivering in anticipation.
Right as I look at you, I raise my eyebrow, and making my monocle fall off my face. I think we may be dealing with something paranormal. And that man, what he saw, what if it's what killed that poor woman, Maggie McFeeters? And I sort of say this under my breath as much as I can because my voice starts to escalate naturally because of the tension, and I have to sort of quiet myself as I look to the two of you in response.
Archibald has got his arms in the air and he's wandering like in circles. He's like, he finally believes. Oh, good Jesus, it's about time. So he approaches you and he pulls out his pocket watch. He's all, not so crazy now, huh? You see?
In that whole display, I just stand up straight, collecting my posture, putting one arm behind my back and readjusting my monocle on my eye, looking a lot more astute. Yes, you don't have to rub it in. Now is not the time. Violet, what are we supposed to do? What now? We have to let this man go, but do we just fucking stick around and find... I don't know, and I just like sort of start pacing back and forth as I look at you.
Violet's gonna look back and look between the two of you. I don't think we should follow him. I think we should still investigate here, see what we can find.
Of
Yeah, I kind of agree.
course.
He's kind of washed up, don't you think?
Yes, we have to let the poor man go. I'm just saying we can find out more information, but...
Ah, a shakedown is what you're suggesting.
No, that's not... All I'm saying is, what more do we need to find out to know that we're most likely going to die before dinner soup is served?
He kind of like straightens his tie. You see, being close to death is what's going to keep you alive. We need to know what we're dealing with, what it is,
Right.
where it came from, why it's here, who its mother was, when their parents died.
Right, yes. Maybe we need to diagnose this creature to death.
You're the expert at that.
At this point, I look to the two of you though. It's been some time now, and I start to like squint my eyes towards the back room. One of you should go check him out, see if he's okay.
Archibald just turns, like pivots on the ball of his heel, and he goes, "Right, on my way. Hey, sir, got some words for you. See, come here."
You see Red Jake kind of like, he doesn't really enter the room. He's got his bindle on his back, and he's like, "Yes."
Archibald approaches him, and he flips open his notebook and grabs his handy dandy pencil as he starts writing, making some notes. He says, "I need to know everything you know. What this thing was, where it came from, who its mother was. Who's your mother?"
Well, I'm not sure how my mother is relevant, but I don't have any more details to give you. Everything I had, I already told you.
But there must be something deeper, something that we're missing here. Have you
An
found
underlying
anything?
sense of fear, which is why I'm ready to leave.
He sighs. He's like, maybe this will work. And he pulls out his pocket watch and he starts swinging it back and forth and says, "There must be something more."
You're gonna try and hypnotize him on the spot.
Oh, let me see. What skill would we throw that under? I'm thinking either.
It's like, you're feeling tired, see?
Give me a charm roll.
Oh my god, what's my charm? That's a fail.
So once again, he kind of like blankly stares. Can I go now? Like I said, I don't intend to stick around. This thing, whatever it is, hunts at night. And as you can kind of see, it's like 8 p.m. and it's starting to get a little, sunset, nighttime-ish. So I'm going to not be here anymore.
I yell from across the room, "Let him go, Archie. I don't think he has anything else for us."
I mean, there's a extra can of pork and beans if you want it. But that's about it.
I am famished. We'll take it.
Archibald, he closes his notebook and he puts it back in his jacket and he says, "Now listen here. Don't go telling anybody about this. It's gonna be our little secret. We don't need to cause a panic now, do we?"
Well,
"Ah, you're a good lad."
I don't really talk to other people that often, and I don't think anybody else would believe me.
Good luck, Red Jake.
Thank you, I guess. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend sticking around.
I will make the recommendations here, but thank you. We'll take that into account. And Archibald wanders back towards Gilius, and he says, "I don't think we should stick around here until the night. That's my idea."
Do you take me as a fool? I don't want to stay here either. We should take just a little bit of time to continue searching this house, and if we can't find anything, we should leave.
Yes, and I believe that we should report back to Reginald. He might have more insight. Maybe by then he'll have the hieroglyphics words translated.
By the god, I hope. And I I like stylistically pull out my magnifying glass and I begin to fucking. I don't know. Maybe we should take it room by room. I'll take the. Can you resend a picture of the house again? You're muted, my friend.
So he's still in the chat.
Yeah, it's only two
Oh, is
ones
it?
going up. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't. Hey, so I'll go down in the cellar if someone wants to take the attic, and then someone can take the middle floor to do a comb.
Okay, for the attic, we'll need to cover the back room first, just because of the entrance to the attic. Before that, though, does the party want to do anything in relation to Maggie? So you currently have, or at least who you assume to be Maggie, you currently have a dead body that you guys are all aware of that no one's really touched on.
Yeah. What should we do with the girl?
Well,
We can put her in the trunk.
I don't think handling the corpse is what we should do. I know it's what's right by God, but this is not. This is not that.
Would you want to just be left out here in the woods, laying, rotting, for some animal to just come pick at you? Think
When
of her mother, lad.
Exactly. We need to live in order to save the corpse. So what if we just find what we're looking for if we can, and if we can't, we leave, and when we're safe, we make arrangements of obtaining the body. You know where it is, right? You're the one who said you found it.
Right. Well, we should at least cover her. Give me your jacket.
You want to go out there, boy? As I point out to the sun setting across the horizon.
Right. You make a fair argument.
Now, I'm going to go in the cellar. One of you should go in the fucking attic, and we'll take a look around this house. And I kind of like storm, and with my anger, it kind of quells my fear of the moment of going down into the cellar once again. Because who knows, there could be a fucking second hobo down there ready to stab me with a broken bottle. And I just kind of make my way, but we could resolve that if you want or whatever.
Okay, so Gillis is going to the cellar. Is anybody else going to the cellar?
Nope. Archibald will take the attic.
Okay, so we'll do the back room second. Violet, are you going to the back room as well, or the cellar?
I'm gonna go back to the cellar.
Okay. All right, Gillis and Violet. As you walk down into the cellar, you can see that there's some light filtering in through the cracks of the floorboards from the rooms above. It's not enough to really see anything. If you're wanting to see clearly, you're going to need to use your flashlights.
So, right when I get to the bottom of the stairs, realizing I'm going to need to use my flashlight, I start kind of like tapping it and kind of hitting it to sort of get it to kick on. Right about the time Violet makes her way halfway down the stairs, and inside, Gillis is extremely relieved because now he's not alone in the scary cellar. But because he stormed off, he's still committing to the act of him being angry, and he looks up at you and says, Violet, I don't need your help. Come on, get out of here. As I kind of struggle to get my flashlight to turn on as you kind of make your way down.
Violet just looks at you. You told me to go away? Okay, I'll go to the cellar. I'll
Wait,
go to the
no!
attic.
Wait! Look, I think I see something. And I just start pointing my flashlight around the room.
Did you get your flashlight to work?
Yes.
Yes, as you see, like the flickering on the end of the flashlight as it finally goes into full beam, and he starts sweeping it across the room. You can see that the cellar is kind of claustrophobic. It's one of those that's got like the lower ceiling, so you kind of like have to hunch a little bit if you're average height.
Okay.
The floor is hard packed earth, so it's a noticeable amount of cooler than the floors above, and it smells of dirt and dust. There's a pair of chairs against the wall at the base of the steps, and a table with a missing leg, presumably the one that Red Jake bopped Violet with. Shelves line one of the walls with cans and boxes sit on these shelves. You can tell that it's long spoiled remains of foodstuffs. There's several tins of tea leaves among the cans with some silver tea sets, which are now tarnished because of how long they've been down here. You can see there's some cast iron pots and pans for cooking and sets of tableware for eating. On the lowest shelves, there's a row of bottles containing good liquor. By the steps leading into the cellar is an old but still sturdy 8-foot ladder. And behind the steps, you can see there's a pile of lumber, a bag of rusted nails, and a wooden box with some old tools. Hammer, handsaw, hand drill with 3 different bits, a chisel, and rasp.
Excellent.
In a corner near the shelves is a bundle under an oiled tarpaulin.
Okay. Violet, do you want to take the floor first?
I will go in and I'm gonna go check the. You said there was a bag, right?
There's a bundle with a tarp in, so like a tarp over it.
I'm gonna go check the bundle.
Do you have your own flashlight?
I do.
Okay.
It's already on. I had it on as I was coming down the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Violet, as you walk up and remove the tarpaulin off of this, you see there's a expensive-looking travel trunk. The straps are fastened and latches are secured on it, but it is unlocked.
What is that? As I shine my flashlight towards you.
Not sure. I'm gonna open it though.
As you open up this trunk, you're going to see a folded black cloth with a handwritten letter, which I'm going to drop into our chat here.
Oh, shit. Dude, I love the handouts. It's my favorite part.
And I'll read it here shortly after describing what else we've got here.
Okay.
On the underside lid of the trunk are more of the warding sigils that you've seen around the house. And
what?
And in the trunk, you're going to see some of the materials that Rupert Merriweather had mentioned in his journal. There's 6 folded black robes, a cigar box, and a sheath of yellowed papers. The handwritten note reads, 23rd March, 1877. Oh, wait. Is that the one I wanted? Yep.
That's my birthday.
I don't know why I'm putting this down on paper. Huh? Okay, we're good.
I think it was just a peanut gallery comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably a bad idea, but I feel the need to leave some kind of explanation for my actions and intent. When I took the sarcophagus from my uncle, I did not think it would be missed. I expected to be able to research it and return it later. I was such a fool. Despite believing in the powers we tried to summon, I grossly misunderstood the consequences. Now Robert is dead, and Harold a madman. I'm going back to the farmhouse to organize our things. I dread stepping foot again in that place, but I must make sure that our materials will be available again when we need them. Since the others are too shaken to attempt a banishment of the creature, I can only hope that the thing hasn't the power to remain in our reality more than a few hours or days. At least it's bound to the house itself. I shall search for a means to destroy it before the last of us passes from this world and its release from the house, if it is still there. I believe I know where I can find the knowledge I need to drive the creature away without assistance from others. I hear tales of mystics in New Orleans that know much of the true magics of the world. I am leaving the gold box in Rupert's care. I told him not to sell it or have it appraised by anyone, but did not tell him why. He also seemed puzzled by my insistence not to live in Boston, but I believe he trusts my judgment not to go into danger unwittingly. My uncle does not know about our dark brotherhood. so Rupert and the others will be safe from anyone looking for it. I will be back to put things right again. Mary and Alan.
Shit, we got a PS.
P.S. I write this before I close the lid on the trunk. The thing is still in the attic of the house. It seemed to recognize me and spoke foul curses at me. I will carve protective wards on the trunk to prevent any tampering with its contents just in case.
Damn. I look over at you, Violet, as you get done reading that. What are we dealing with here? I make my way across the room and I go towards the part of the cellar with all the tools and whatnot. I want to use, like, how big is the tarp that Violet took off of the trunk?
We'll say it's like a standard. What do they run? Like 8 foot by 8 foot.
Okay. Is there a way for me to take all these tools and put them in a bag, or will I have to make do with the tarp?
Based off of the tools we had listed there, I think they would all fit,
Hammers?
right?
Okay.
Yeah, you could
Well,
easily bundle them in the tarp there.
okay. Well, I will do that. And also, as I'm getting done, all these things put together, you described that there's a bottle of alcohol. Can I identify it?
Kind of your best guess. Actually, let me see. I think there's probably a skill that makes sense there.
In fact, I'll beat you to it. I just want to know the potency. So can I smell it and see if it smells strong of alcohol?
Yes. As you kind of pop the stopper on one of them, it kind of hits you in the chest with it. If you had to guess, this would be some like homemade sort of like moonshine.
That will do. And I put like the cork back in. This will be a future Molotov cocktail.
Okay.
So I want to add that bottle of alcohol and those tools to my inventory.
Okay.
While I'm doing all that, Violet, what about the attic? And I look up the stairs.
Before you do that, did you want to finish going through the other things that were in the trunk? There was a cigar box and a sheath of yellowed papers in there as well.
I'll leave it up to Violet to do so. She was kind of the one going through it.
So Violet finished reading the letter, realized that Archibald was going to be heading up to the attic.
Yeah.
So she then proceeds to book it to try to beat him to the attic.
Okay.
Hold on, hold that thought. I will chase after her, but upon seeing some things still in the suitcase, I'll grab what I can to be able to fit inside my pocket.
Okay. So we'll say the cigar box and the sheath of yellowed papers are with you for future inspection.
Okay.
All right. The camera's going to pan back over to Archibald.
Oh, it's just going to go up the floors, up to the attic.
So now we're at the back room. You guys would have kind of got a glimpse of this as you were heading down to the cellar because of where the stairs are in relation to the rooms, to the cellar. But Archibald, what you would have seen as you kind of entered into the back room, there's a comfortable armchair at one of the corners with a table against a wall beneath the rear window. This is also where you would have seen, as you guys were coming in, some of Red Jake's stuff. So like his walking stick, all of his stuff in his bindle. You can tell that a fire had been made pretty recently. And if you care to check, the back door was indeed unlocked at this point in time. Above you, you see a trap door that leads up into the attic. It is pretty high up, though. Even someone pretty tall, you would have to stand on your tippy toes to be able to access the trapdoor and pull it down. You do notice there's some occult carvings over the door and windows, pretty much just everywhere in this house. Specifically, you can tell that it's protecting the door, the back door, and the front door. So if you had to guess, the back room and the front room have been warded, and the trunk is the only other place that you guys have now noticed these warding. I forgot to bring this up, so it was in the letter. I want to do it now before I forget again. He mentioned New Orleans, so if you guys recall, in the writings we got during last session, that is where Marion Allen died. He had went to New Orleans to research, and he had been hunted down by someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys can also kind of see there were some muddy boot prints. This is all in hindsight now that you can attribute these to Red Jake.
Okay.
Is there like anything else noticeable in this room that would stand out for Archibald to kind of like look around at?
No, kind of if you look at the map there, it's a pretty standard like farmhouse back room. There's not a whole lot to it.
He's just gonna go okay and kind of like put his is it dark up here? Would he need his flashlight up here?
No, this room is lit.
It's not sun hours, right? It's not completely down.
Not yet.
Yeah, he's gonna walk into that room with like his hands on his hips, and then he just kind of like looks around and he looks up at the trapdoor, shrugs, and goes and starts pushing a chair to underneath the trapdoor so that way he can like climb up on the chair to get to it.
Okay. Where is everybody else at this point? Would you say you've made it up the
No way, dude. He should be like in the attic before we have time to like go upstairs, because we like read a letter, we'd like gather tools, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Are you pushing open the trapdoor on the attic here?
Is it a push open or a pull down?
It's a push open.
So Archibald is gonna reach into his jacket and pull out the revolver he got from PICA, and he's just gonna kind of like very cautiously poke the lid 2 times, just a quick poke poke.
Nothing happens.
And he kind of looks around to see if anybody's watching, and he pokes it 3 more times, real quick. Poke, poke, poke.
While you were expecting something to happen, still nothing occurs.
Hey, nothing is good.
Archibald, he pulls back the hammer to the revolver, just getting ready, as he uses the barrel of the pistol to lift the door.
Is it just your hand at this point?
It's true. Like he's holding onto the gun, so he's pushing up on the trapdoor with the barrel end of the gun.
Still nothing at this point in time.
No, he means he's open the door.
Oh yeah, the trapdoor gives way. There's no resistance there.
Okay.
Is it? As it moves over, is it dark up there?
Yes, it would be considered like low dim lighting, like you would need a flashlight to see clearly.
Of course. It's the attic.
Archibald, still pistol in hand, reaches and grabs his flashlight. He flicks it on. He's holding everything real close as he's just kind of like pointing up to see if there's like a ladder or something he can grab to pull down to get up there, or if this is just going to require a good swift jump.
It's going to require either a good swift jump or something else to reach. If you're willing to wait, your party members did see something down in the cellar that would assist you with this.
Archibald, you're good. You're a PI, man. Go for it. You've jumped over fences higher than this.
Yeah, Archibald, he takes a few deep breaths, and he says, "It's just like Grandpa's cellar. Just like Grandpa's cellar."
Oh shit!
And it's like before he goes to jump, he kind of like looks down like where the stairs down to the cellar would be, and he shouts, "I'm about to go in the attic.
She's like
Somebody better come out and try to stop me."
Right as he says that, Violet gets up there. Like, no, do not go up there.
Okay,
Oh, good.
sure.
Glad you're here. Too late, and he just leaves.
Ah!
Okay, give me a jump roll.
I'm still making my way up the stairs because I am older. I can't go as fast as Violet.
I'm gonna fall on my face. I fell on my face. I failed that.
Yes. Luckily, the chair was beneath you, so it kind of broke the fall from being anything more severe. So at this moment is just your pride that's hurt because Violet got to witness all firsthand what just occurred.
Is it the gin? Is it the gin? As I finally make it into the room.
I was like, no, there is no gin. We drink it.
Archibald, you're supposed to be checking out the attic.
I was trying to. You want to lift me up here? I could use some help. You know, give me the good old heave-ho.
Ugh. I go over there. Violet, please. I can't. I'm too old. I'll help you. And we kind of like... I kind of go on my hands and knees on the chair to kind of like let you step on me. You know?
Archibald said, it's like, okay. And he just climbs up on top of Gillis.
Yes, Archie. With no time for tomfoolery.
Okay.
Can you lift me up just a little bit higher? I'm just like almost there.
I'll try to, but it like herniates one of my discs.
Come on, man. Come back into it.
So are you saying you're not successful to lift him up into the attic?
No, I am, but I
Okay.
herniated just in doing so.
All right. Archibald, as your head pokes above the opening that you have there, you hear a growling rush. Yes. And as you're kind of like shaking, you hear this growling rush that kind of comes towards you. You can't see, even with the light, there's nothing visible, but you can see the dust and everything kind of swirl up. You hear some loud thumping as it comes towards you as the boards start to creak.
My God!
Give me a dodge roll.
Holy shit!
Oh shit. Where's my dodge? Oh God, that's horrible. Okay, nope, these dice are these ones are fresh out of jail, so they better be happy.
They're still on parole, though.
Oh, yeah, this is true. They could go right back into jail. I passed with a 6, and my dodge is 25.
Oh, nice!
Definitely check your box. As you kind of hear this rumbling, you are already shaking, and you kind of like instinctively reflex and just fall backwards. At this point, Gillis kind of like just lets go, says like, Jesus, take the wheel. I don't know what's happening. So you fall flat on your back. You're going to take...
I'll say he falls on top of me because I didn't have enough time to get off the chair yet, which is right below the hole.
Okay. If that's the case, both of you would take... Oh, sorry.
As Archibald is falling backwards, can he accidentally just squeeze off around into the ceiling?
Give me a firearms check.
Dude, that was a nice little right before you go. Kill him.
I just barely failed.
Okay, it was a post roll. The creature had a critical success, so you see the shot fly through the ceiling, so there's now a small hole in the ceiling with a ray of light coming down. Both you and Gillis take 1 hit point from the sudden fall from jerking backwards out of the attic.
Oh boy.
As we land with a oof.
Yes, a very fall.
What are you doing, Archibald? And I try to get myself out from under you.
And like Archibald not helping at all. He's just kind of like laying on top of you. But I'm not sure what that was. Maybe a big rat.
Close
really
the
large.
door! Close the door! And I try to keep like pushing you up off of me to have you try and like close the attic door if you can.
It's like, man,
Oh.
the attic door is all the way up there. How do you want me to close it? Shoot it down?
Almost as if reading your guys' mind, the trapdoor slams shut, and you hear a growling, panting sound coming from the attic above. All three of you give me a sanity roll.
Oh fuck!
Yeah. My sanity is somewhat. Oh no, I'm currently at 30.
I pass.
Good. I pass. Violet, that is your roll. Pick your poison on which dice you want to use. Those ones have been. They seem to be pretty happy to be. Oh.
So for my passes, you guys take 1 sanity damage.
Okay.
Anybody that failed is also only taking 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're only down by 1. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm only down by 1 too.
Mhm.
Although you apparently had more sanity. I might just go. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. It's fine. I'm not that sane. Archibald, like, as he stands up and like brushes the dust off him, he said, "Problem solved."
Right. So, and I like kind of scooch myself onto the ground and kind of like struggle up to my feet. I think we found something down in the basement. It might help us, it might not, but I think we should go.
Is it more or less interesting than that? As he points up at the attic.
I don't want to stick around to find out, and I start like exiting the back room.
And Archibald, with his hands back on his hips, kind of looks back up at the attic door. He's like, "Oh no, that seems pretty interesting. All right, we can check it out later." And he follows Gillis.
If your nerves weren't already shot enough, at this particular instance, you hear a knocking on the front door.
No!
Archibald readies his pistol.
I
Instantly.
literally freeze halfway down the hallway. And I just like look back as the heart in my chest is pounding. And I look back at Violet. And I look back towards the door and I just freeze. I don't even go towards the door.
No, Violet's gonna go ahead and just go and carefully open the door very slowly to see who it is.
Archibald will be right behind her with his pistol just like ready.
As you open up the door, you will see Dr. Alex Moretti.
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude!
For
For
context, Moretti, you have been sent by Reginald to assist the team. Since they didn't actually contact him, he didn't have a good contact to reach out to them to let them know you were coming.
But buonasera, young lady. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a Dr. Alessandro
shit.
Moretti, Doctor and Chief Surgeon of St. Catherine's of Siena Hospital of New York. I was sent by the man in charge to assist you all. How are you this fine evening?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm glad. You just see me walking forward towards you. I'll give you a brief description. I'm a man in his mid-50s who's aged like a fine wine. There are minimal amount of wrinkles on my face. However, I have like a strong white mustache and goatee combo that with a white short kept hair with a very like Freudian therapist sort of looks. I'm sporting a monocle on my eye at the moment. I need help. The name is Gilus Hornbyll.
Dr. Moretti walks in, immediately takes your wrist, starts checking your pulse. Like a fine wine, you say. Your heart rate is racing, sir. Are you all well?
No. Tell us what you look like, man.
There's a picture in chat if you want to take a look
Okay.
at
I was gonna say he's a handsome fellow.
Oh, like you trying to have like a Nikola Tesla sort of look there.
that. Right.
Okay, I dig it. I'll post a picture of me as well.
I'm a young for my age of 28, but I am a fine surgeon, very skilled. I went to the finest schools thanks to my father.
Ah, perfect. A doctor. This one over here, as he gestures to Gillis, is about to have a heart attack. You might want to check him out.
Yeah, you might want to sit down, sir. You seem quite shaken. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm here to assist. If anyone needs any medical attention, I can help. For the moment, rest. Have a glass of water. And you, sir, what's your name?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
All right. So he proudly, like, kind of struts up and puts his pistol away, reaches out to shake your hand, and says, "Archibald Whitley, private investigator. My badge."
Private investigator. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were a mafioso like my father, so I didn't know. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're not a
And
mafioso.
he kind of, like, chuckles, like, nonchalantly, slyly, like, kind of like the, yeah. So what are you doing all the way out here?
Well, I was sent by the man in charge to help you all. I'm looking to find maybe answers. I lost someone very dear to me, and I've been told that there may be a way to speak with her, and I'm pursuing that. But in the meantime, I was sent out here to help you all with something. I'm not sure what. Does anyone require medical attention at all, other than this shaken man here? Gillis, you said your name was Gillis. Drink the water. You look like you're getting more color in your cheeks. You're looking better now.
Yes, fine, sir. And I stand back up. You don't realize what we're getting into, and in fact, we're on our way out. We should not stick around here much longer. There is a great danger afoot. As
Actually,
I kind
there's
of look
something in
around.
the attic I want to show you.
No!
Danger? What kind of danger are we talking about?
Do you know anything about the rabid cat that's up in the attic?
A rabbit cat? No, I'm allergic. I don't be around small beasts.
Well,
Doctor.
whatever it is, it tried to take my eyes out.
Doctor, heed my warning. Look at me in the eyes. We need to leave as I start gathering up my things.
We need to leave. Well, I just got here for one thing, and I was supposed to send to help. I'm a grazie for all the warnings, but what is it we're meant to do here?
Archibald, kind of slaps you on the shoulders. Trust me, lad. If this one's afraid, we should probably get out of here.
Okay. And you, young miss, I'm afraid I wasn't introduced. Please forgive my rudeness. I am Dr. Moretti, and you are?
My name is Violet.
Violet. Very nice, very nice. And you, do you feel also that we need to leave here? Are we in danger?
I mean, I guess. I want to go with the attic, but these guys want to leave.
You want to go see the large Fiero cat up in the attic?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
whatever rat or possum is up there, it's angry. Also,
It's angry.
There's some weird symbols and stuff all around the door.
Weird symbols, you say?
Yes.
Well, as a medical professional, I tell you, opossums and cats that are fear are best left alone. You don't want to catch rabies. That's a bad news for sure. So I would recommend not going into the attic if there's a cat in there. And if we need to leave, we can leave. But these strange symbols, are they a different language? I'm Italian, so if it's Italian, I can read it. But my grandmother, God rest her soul, she taught me Italian before she passed away, so I could read Italian. I also read Latin, so if you need me to look at these symbols, perhaps I could tell you what they say.
Would I have recognized these occult symbols?
Yeah.
If I recall, Violet was the only one that picked up on it. While she couldn't read them specifically, she recognized that they were the same type of symbols mentioned in the journal that Marion had applied as warding symbols. So she wouldn't necessarily be able to recreate it, but she knows that there's some type of warding in place. Correlative, you would assume these are what is binding the creature to the house or preventing it from getting into these rooms.
Wait a second. As I make my way to the front door, before I'm able to open it, I turn around and I look at Archibald. Archie,
Yes, Gilly.
Okay, maybe I should drop the nickname. I hate that. Don't ever call me that again. Archibald, if whatever's in the attic is actually the djinn, is it possible that something else is here that killed Maggie and attacked Red Jake? Because if the wards are keeping that creature in the attic, how is it getting out if it wasn't able to just moments ago?
Well, if you recall, Red Jake was really afraid of being here at night. In fact, he wanted to skedaddle real quick. It makes me wonder. In fact, I've got an idea, good old
no.
Gillis boy.
Don't say it out loud, please. Don't say it out loud.
Why don't we just hunker down in the car and wait the night out? And we'll see if it's able to come out. Whatever it is, we're bound to see it. And I've got good old Smith & Wesson.
I look at you in unsureness as I look to Violet and now Dr. Moretti. Unsure. I'm hoping however they react to help fill into like what I sort of decide here.
Dr. Moretti would be still wondering about the symbols. Are they determined to be Latin? Can he see the symbols?
You can see them. If you want context, give me, if I recall, an occult roll.
Occult roll. Okay, let's see. Let's give it a roll. I got 86.
What's your... I guess I have your character sheet.
Let's see. Occult.
I bet that's a fail.
I got a 25.
Yeah, way over. You're not able to discern anything. Violet would be able to fill you in if they care to share, since they've kind of left it very vague and nebulous as far as what's going on here and what they know.
So it seems at this moment I don't know what these symbols mean, what they represent, but if we do have to leave here, I drove here in my Packard, so we could all get in that unless you have a vehicle, and we could, as they say, make tracks.
You would have also noticed a vehicle parked out front. I as well have a car.
Okay.
Well, I think it's risky, but it may give us more information. Maybe stalling out in the car might be a good idea, because we can potentially still escape. However,
You just crank it over and go.
I think 2 in each car was best to maximize the chances that one of us will get out of here alive.
Ooh, I choose Gillis. I'm going with Gillis.
Not really.
Mademoiselle, that would mean you're with me, if that's okay with you.
Yep, that's fine by me.
All right.
Okay, Seeker, so I take Gillis and we go get the car started, and watch the sun drop over the horizon and see if something happens.
Do you want to look at any of the materials that you grabbed out of the trunk prior to this?
Yeah, well, I'll look at them in the car while we're kind of like waiting for shit to happen.
Okay.
And we can kind of still discuss it. Hey, maybe you should, Doctor, would you mind? And I sort of like gesture you to move your car over towards mine.
Certainly, I can do that. So I go ahead and move my Hewlett Packard right over next to them.
Perfect. All right.
So yeah, I pull out. We did find a letter, which we can. I'll give you guys like the TLDR, so I don't have to reread the letter, just to let you guys know like what it said. And Violet also found this, and I pulled out of my pocket the cigar box, and was it several rolled up sheets of paper?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll cover the cigar box first.
Yes.
The box and brand of cigars date back to the 1870s. As you open up the box, you can see there's a small metal canister containing a coarse brownish powder and a smaller wooden box with a sliding lid. Within the smaller box is a silvery talcum powder-like substance. If you'd like to identify the brown one, give me a chemistry or pharmacy check.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a pharmacy check.
Can I do a medicine check instead?
I don't think that would apply here. Medicine would be like if you're giving medical aid, not necessarily
Okay.
identifying chemicals.
I got a 49 and I have a 60 in pharmacy.
Perfect. Go ahead and check the success, and then I'll wait for everybody before I go into...
What was it, pharmacy or chemistry?
Yeah. Those ones might be specific ones, so you might not even have those.
Yeah, I don't even see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just give the light over to Dr. Moretti.
All right. Dr. Moretti, as you kind of sniff a little bit and like swirl it around,
Down,
you can
put
tell
the
that this has
down.
got some type of sulfur and oxide of copper compounds here. You don't know its purpose, but you kind of identified what type of chemicals are at play here.
Sulfur
Yeah.
oxide, yes.
The
I'm familiar with its compounds from my days in the university.
Oh, wait just a sec for Colton.
Is it sulfur dioxide?
It's sulfur and then oxide of copper.
Oxide of copper. Okay.
The silvery talcum powder, none of you are able to identify off the base, just looking at it, unless you can make a Cthulhu Mythos roll, which I think the only one that has
Violet.
any percentage is Violet.
You're the best one to make the roll, and if
And it would be a
it's gonna
critical
be-
success, so you need a
Yeah.
1.
You need to roll 1.
Wait, what is she rolling?
Cthulhu Mythos.
Yeah, you have to roll a 1. Roll.
You got this.
Pick your flavor, whichever dice. You can mix and match if you want.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, she rolled a 20.
I mean,
Not
normally that
bad.
would be a great roll. Yeah, so you guys aren't able to identify. It's kind of like graphite and sort of adheres to the skin, coating it, imparting kind of like greasy feel to it, but it washes off easily. Would everybody give me an intelligence roll?
Yes.
Intelligence.
Moretti has a 27.
Succeed as well.
You pass. Violet passes with a 31. Archibald passes with a 3.
Perfect.
Nice.
All of you kind of take this assumption of like not being able to identify it, but it being packed away in the cigar box very
Smoking
carefully. Assume that this is some sort of powder used to combat or ward off the monster upstairs.
After Violet gets done sort of like checking it out and stuff, I'll like grab the cigar box and sort of close it. We should hold on to this, maybe show it to Reginald. And I put it back in my pocket. And I want to now inspect the rolled up pieces of paper.
Perfect. I'm going to drop in handouts 6 and 7.
Oh boy.
Don't look at 7 for now. That will be only if Moretti can translate.
Okay.
The papers are handwritten notes, all dated from 1877. All the sheets are in Marion Allen's handwriting. None of the writing mentions the silvery talcum-like powder.
What language is this in?
We'll get there in just a sec. 6 of the sheets of paper are all the same, all of them copies of the same Latin chant. These were prepared as separate copies for each of the members of the Dark Brotherhood. If anybody knows Latin, which Moretti should, please give me a roll.
Yep. Rolling
Plus,
away.
you can perform exorcisms.
We got a 35.
Is that a
Nice.
succeed?
Okay.
Yeah, that looks like a succeed. So you guys can now look at page 7. It is the translated version of the chant.
Oh, spirits.
As you're kind of filtering through these pieces of paper, you see that one identifies the Latin chant as having been derived from a book called De Vermilis Mysterious. For our starting 3 investigators, you would be familiar. This was the book that the original ritual had been derived from. It was the book that you guys were unable to obtain. It also states that while the original chant detailed the ritual for releasing the spirit trapped inside the ancient amber, several words within the incantation have been replaced, changing the original summoning ritual to one of exorcism so that it may be used to dispel the vile spirit currently trapped in the attic.
Holy shit! Did we just get the fuck? Did we just find the kill switch? Is that, as you're sort of translating all this, Dr. Moretti? I just look over to you. Is that what it's saying? Is this how we stop the beast?
I mean, I would say, like this to me sounds like something, an old prayer like my grandmother used to say when she was in church. And he's writing out the translation on a piece of paper and pen that he's gotten from his car, so that we have the translated version as well.
Okay.
And hands it to you and goes, yeah, I would say this is some sort of type of prayer or a banishment of evil.
As you guys continue flipping through these sheets of paper, the next one, which I dropped in the chat there, describes the pentagram. It says the symbol must be drawn as part of the ritual. The next 3 sheets discuss the procedure of the ritual itself, which takes at least an hour to perform and must be started at midnight. Where at least one person speaks aloud the ritual phrases, another person must draw the pentagram on the floor, while another burns a certain combination of chemicals in a fire nearby. Allen's notes mention that the chemicals resemble a brown powder, which he says he has prepared and stored with these papers in a metal canister ready for use. While one person may perform the ritual chant, the notes recommend that several people take part, allowing each individual to occasionally interrupt their chanting without disturbing the overall ritual or its potency. If the chant is continuous with at least one person reciting the repeating phrases aloud, the spirit must succumb. However, it warns that even the slightest disruption of the chanting may result in failure, requiring another ritual to be performed on a following night. The notes suggest that during the ritual, a watcher be posted, lest the sorcerers be disturbed by the nuisances and distraction of malevolent spirits. Thus,
oh my god!
Thus, these sheets confirm that a 2-hour ritual using the chant provided, begun at midnight, will drive off unwanted spirits.
So, is this something, and excuse me if I'm ignorant here, but is this something we need to do in that house back there? Because, is this what we're all talking about? Is that what's up in the attic? This is no mere feral cat, is it? It's some sort of evil entity.
Doctor, like I said before, what we're dealing with is paranormal.
Paranormal? Paranormal. Okay, see, Senor, I am a man of science. I was trained of knowledge in biology, but my grandmother, God rest her soul, was a very superstitious woman. You see this rosary around my neck? It has a charm on it that prevents the evil eye. Have you ever heard of the evil eye? As Satan gives you the evil eye and you become inert.
Doctor.
So I understand what you're saying. I don't know if I believe it, but I understand it.
Trust me. I am also a man of science. I have received the highest of educations you can in this land. I too was skeptical. Over the last 48 hours, I have seen and heard of things that has made me question exactly that. Trust me when I say you have stepped into a hornet's nest, and you don't realize, man, what we're dealing with here is potentially life-ending.
If it helps, I believe this entire time.
Shut up, Archibald!
I mean, I also mostly did the whole time.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you. The man in charge, he sent me here to help you, and he told me if I helped you, that he might help me get in touch with my Maria. And that's what matters to me, is my Maria. And if I can help you, and it helps me, then I'm in. But I just want to make sure that we're being careful. Those chemicals, while being burned, do have a chemical reaction. I can take care of that if somebody does the chanting and somebody else draws this symbol. But it's something we can do.
The thing is, I don't speak Latin. You would have to be the one who chants.
If somebody else can then burn these chemicals without harming themselves, then I could do the chant.
We'll have time to figure it out. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as like speaking Latin, you just have to read what's on the paper.
Okay, alright. When I said that, I felt like I was going a little far out on that tree branch. Yeah, I realized that maybe I didn't have to speak Latin in order to chant it.
I mean, for RP's sake, it also
ready
makes
to
sense.
Speak it in Latin.
I think all of this is good talk. I think we should really think of a plan once we're back at HQ. Maybe after we've filled in Reginald.
Well, Reginald's still translating the hieroglyphs on the sarcophagus. Are you still down to stake out?
Yes, I assume this whole conversation will be taking place while we're staking out.
Almost.
So I think
since,
it's a question of. No, I was going to say, I was just thinking it's a question of, are we going to continue to stake out, go to HQ, or go in the house and cowboy shotgun this bad boy?
I think in my opinion, we're safer staking out in the car and making a quick escape if we need be. I think leaving the car is a bad idea.
Yeah, but boy, what if you have to pee? Do you have something to piss in? Like a bottle? A jar? A suitcase?
It's the 1920s. I'm sure I have a case of mason jars in the back.
It's all that moonshine.
Yeah, I was gonna say he holds up his glass of moonshine. We just gotta make it through this first.
Oh shit.
Archibald leans into you, Gilus. He's like, I'm looking forward to this. I'd like to spend some more time with you and talk to you more about parents.
Yes, indeed. As I adjust my monocle and nervously look at the rear view mirrors on the sides of the vehicle. How much, is it nighttime yet, Cedar?
Yes, between meeting with Dr. Moretti and kind of investigating the rest of the house, I would say it's about 10:30.
How long has it been with no sun?
Maybe an hour and a half.
Have I noticed any bump in the night?
Well, I was actually kind of just waiting for this moment in time.
For fuck's sake.
For this moment in time.
You hear this ear-piercing screech, and it's almost like this blast of air coming out of the attic, and all of you guys instinctively turn your heads towards this sound. And while you can't see anything distinct, you see faint tangling vortex rolling through the air. Leaves are shaken up from the branches as the thing whirls by over the cars and into the woods. Everybody give me a sanity roll.
Mamma mia!
We're still outside in front of the house, right? In the cars?
Yep, and that's why you
Okay.
saw this, because you're
Okay.
outside and it just went outside.
Oh my
Moriarty
god!
got
Sorry.
No, you're good. Moriarty got a 48.
My sanity is 97, and I just rolled a 95.
So you still passed?
Yes, I'm just flabbergasted by how close that was.
Violet failed with a 58.
Okay.
Archibald failed with an 80.
Okay. And yours was a
What?
success there, Moretti?
Yeah, I got 50 for sanity, and I rolled a 48.
Perfect. For my fails, you guys take 2 sanity points of damage. For my successes, you take none.
Oh, nice.
Immediately after this, you guys are kind of tense setting the cars. Please give me a listen roll.
You got
Wait,
it.
did we move to the cars?
We've been in the cars this whole time.
I knew that.
Cause like, yeah.
I got a 13.
Listen, hold on. I got.
What is my listen?
Yeah, I was going to say, just
Oh,
call out if
I'm
it's
gonna
a
listen.
succeed or a fail. If it's succeed, make sure you check your box if it's not already checked. And
I
then I'll...
succeeded.
Perfect. So we got one
I
I
succeed.
critically succeed.
Ooh, nice.
I rolled a 10, and I have. I needed to roll lower than a 12.
Perfect.
Damn it, Archibald failed.
Okay. Well, Violet, did you succeed?
I did.
Perfect. So the 3 of you, you hear a faint scream out in the woods. But before you're able to act on anything, the screaming ends. So it's kind of like, ah! And then it abruptly stops.
Can we tell if it sounded like a male or female or other?
You could discern that it's a male. For the 3 that were originally in the house, if you had to guess, this was probably Red Jake, since he just recently left the house into the woods.
Archibald's just sitting there, like, whistling.
That fuck went towards the woods.
He's a hobo. Where the fuck was he gonna go other than the woods?
Mamma mia! Who is that
I mean,
screaming?
to clarify, this was a 20-minute drive from the nearest town.
That's true. That's true.
He probably got here by the rails.
I look over towards everyone else, realizing that they heard the scream, and I just say, "Red Jake," as I look back over towards the back of the house.
Gesundheit.
What if he just found the body? What if he's just shocked?
I told you we should have put her in the trunk.
And you did.
Whoa! Body? Red Jake? What are you guys talking about here? Whose body?
Ah, doctor, I forgot to tell you. We found a young girl, you see. We know who she is. Her entire chest was, like, ripping open, missing a whole lot of stuff. Big gaping hole. It was a bloody mess. Real scared me. Scarred. I'm not going to be able to forget this one for a while. I
And where-
suggested that we moved her or, like, put her in the trunk, and Gilus wasn't having it.
Where is she located now?
He just kind of, like, points towards the woods. Over there.
It's
Where
in
the scream
tree
came
line.
from?
Yes.
He just
And
kind of, like,
this
shrugs. He's like, I heard no scream, but over there.
and this Red Jake, who is he?
He's a hobo who saw the beast and was mentally scarred by it, but made it out with his life. We sent him on his way just before you got here.
And obviously the young lady, she's no longer with us with her chest ripped open.
No, she's
But are
pretty
you
bad.
saying this beast did this to her?
We don't know what did it to her, because
That's
whatever's
why
in the
we-
attic should be trapped.
That's why we're hiding in the cars.
Okay, I'll take your word for that because it doesn't make sense to me that if one of you were the killer, to hide out in the car.
I dare say, good sir, now is not the time to be making accusations. Now is the time to fear for your fucking life, man.
No accusation, good sir, merely an observation. For
Archibald's
as I am a man of science, I observe things, so my apologies.
Archibald's like nodding in like agreement with Gilus, but he also like kind of has like his hand up in front of his mouth to like block Gilus's sight of his as he mouths. It could be him, and points towards him.
God damn it. Seeker, I have a question.
Yes.
That yell that we heard from presumably Red Jake.
Uh-huh.
Was it like a ha? Like was it like a? Could we tell? Could I discern from the yell if it was cut off?
Yes.
In
I
such a
might not have
way-
done the best way of like describing it, but yes, it was one of those that abruptly stopped. So it was like
Okay.
mid scream, it ended.
So maybe Rojo Jacques met the same fate.
I put both hands on the wheel, and Archibald, since you're sitting next to me, you can see my elbows like shaking, and I start to go into a low level of a panic as I look over to you. Do we need to go check it out?
You want to do that in the dark? We got flashlights.
Oh, and I just like turn over to the other car next to us. Do we need to check it out?
Well, as a medical professional, I took a oath to help those in need. So personally, I think we should maybe go see what's going on. I'd also like to take a look at this young lady and see what type of injury she sustained. It might give me a better idea of what caused her death.
It looks like a cannonball hit her chest.
Do you see any cannons out here, sir?
They're on wheels.
DM.
Then let us go find this pirate with a cannonball.
I agree. And I brought tools to make sure I was ready for this. And I like uncharacteristically take out my tucked shirt and tear off a piece of fabric from it with my knife that I got from HQ. And I like ready the Molotov cocktail that I mentioned earlier. And I'm going to have that on hand, ready to go, because I have a lighter and everything. And if anybody wants to, I have a saw and a hammer. If you want more protection, I already have a knife.
Dr. Moriarty grabs a flashlight from his car and his doctor medical bag that has medical supplies and implements in it.
Nice.
He turns to Archibald and points at the pistol and goes, "You know how to use that pistol?"
And he's like spinning it in his fingers. He's like, absolutely.
Excellente. Then yes, let us go check out what's out there. Milady,
God.
are you joining us? Are you staying in the car for your protection? Either way, you are welcome to join us.
I'm definitely gonna join you.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to fucking stay behind. As I get out of the car, I open the car door for you, Violet. And as you exit, I also hand you the hammer that I picked up from the basement.
I accept the hammer.
Great. Good luck. And I sort of like retuck my shirt that I used to make the Molotov cocktail.
Okay.
Mm.
So that I don't forget, Molotov cocktail. You're gonna use your throw percentage if you use this.
Okay.
It's a 2d6 plus luck to burn,
Okay.
and you're only gonna have the one.
Yes.
Did I mention I carry a M79 grenade launcher in my medical bag?
Well, we could do the fun part and look up and see if it existed in the 1920s.
I have a.
We
also,
found
I
out,
will
what is it, bear spray didn't exist at that point in time last
Oh
session.
wow.
Or
The-
the CIA.
Yeah.
I sort of like scan the party. Does anyone look more athletic? Like, in a meta sense, does anyone have a better throwing percentage than 20%?
Oh,
That one's
nope, I have 20%.
Okay.
Violet has 20%.
Okay, then I'll keep it then.
Cool. And you said a hammer. Let me see if there's something similar in here.
I'm gonna excuse myself just a quick bio break.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you guys begin venturing out into the woods, while it takes a little bit to track down Maggie's body, just because it's now dark and you're operating off of flashlights, he is able to lead you over to Maggie McFitter's body. Please give me a first aid or medicine roll, Moretti.
Let's go.
Can I also make a first aid check?
Yes. Anybody except for Archibald. Archibald's already interacted with the body.
Okay, I rolled a
Ooh.
32.
I rolled
I assume that's a
another
success.
critical success.
Oh, nice.
I rolled a 6 and needed to roll 8 or lower.
Perfect.
So I did succeed. Where's my medicine?
Violet passed with a 15.
Oh, Jesus. Y'all coming in with these heavy-hitting rolls. As you're kind of examining this body again, kind of secondhand now, kind of like Archibald had already explained, you see there's a large hole in her chest. What's kind of disconcerting about this is it's not like the rib cage was ripped apart. It's almost like something reached in and grabbed out the heart of this woman and ripped it out.
Fuck.
So it's kind of like the ribs are bent in, kind of like as a puncture inward. And you clearly see that the heart is missing out of her body.
Before like saying anything, kind of coming to that sort of conclusion, I just look over to the doctor and I say, "Well, doctor."
Jumping, Jesus Cristo. What a damn waste of a fine woman. I just can't even... You can see from the lacerations here below the rib cage that something entered into her and gored her heart straight out of her chest. That, sir, is no cannonball, but I can see where you thought of the sentiment. It almost looks like she blew out, but clearly something ripped into her.
I stand up and I take my handkerchief out of my pocket and sort of like cover my nose and mouth with it. I sort of like look around. Do I see Red Jake anywhere?
You can see kind of like the leaf pattern and the branches where the creature had kind of gone out into the woods. I would say it's about 100 feet away from this body. Red Jake wouldn't have necessarily came across this body on his way out,
Okay.
but
okay.
using kind of like the context clue of where you guys saw the creature or like partial visible creature out into the woods, you could kind of narrow down where Red Jake probably went off into.
What would do this? Because there's no bears in this area.
Actually,
I've gone out
there's
hunting. Is
it's
there
pretty-
bears?
Yeah, pretty common for brown bears. They got that data
Oh.
from Ma Peters.
Ah.
But this is not an attack by any mammalian creature, Doctor. This is what I was trying to say. In all your years of practice, have you ever seen an injury like this?
No, I can't say I have. Like I was saying, if it was a bear, you would see chewing of the appendages. You would see more tearing and rending. You would see consummation of the flesh. Why just the heart? Why not anything else?
I think what we're dealing with here, as I take a couple steps closer to Violet and Archibald to sort of thematically set up like we're the group and you like have to join as like, you know what I'm saying, and I say Doctor, what we're dealing with here is not of this world, as I readjust my monocle and pull out my magnifying glass.
See, it is as you said, supernatural.
Archibald?
Yes.
I think we should try to find Red Jake.
Do you think he's a creature? Maybe we've been talking to it all along. You're saying?
At this point, I'm willing to believe anything.
And Archibald, like, opens the cylinder of the pistol to check, like, the rounds that are in there and flicks it closed again. I don't really see another option. At this point, it feels like our duty to stay here. But I don't think that we should split up by any means. Not
No.
in these ones.
Agreed. This Red Jake, is there anywhere he could run to, any other structures in this area? Wasn't there a barn on the way in?
No, he wouldn't have gone to the barn. But there is another home down yonder through the woods.
Can we sort of like triangulate, like you were mentioning before, to get a good idea to start looking?
Yeah, give me. I think there's one that's what, nature or something. Give me a
Maybe there's
natural
tracks or
world.
something.
Yeah, natural world
Can I use
roll.
spot hidden? Oh, okay.
Oh, spot hidden would be a good one
Oh,
too.
shit,
So give me
that's
either of
not
those.
for me.
Do you want all of us to do it, or?
If you're trying to kind of figure out where Red Jake would be, that would be
Ooh.
based off of natural surroundings. That would be
Failed.
what to go with it.
Yeah, I failed. I got a 99.
Yeah, I've got 88.
Hang on, Violet's rolling. Violet failed.
No!
Archibald.
Come on, Archibald.
Oh, Archibald failed.
Ooh.
So the screeching of the creature, while it drew your attention after kind of like glancing at this partially visible entity, you all kind of like tensed up and kind of lost where it was in vicinity. So using that as a reference point kind of isn't available. And while you watch Red Jake leave the back of the house, you didn't necessarily, you all kind of went back to the front room immediately after, so you didn't watch where he went.
Right.
So you have no like starting point to search from.
Right. How much time do we waste?
I would say we're probably about 10:45, almost 11 o'clock at this point.
I pull out my stopwatch, my pocket watch, as I clicked it open. We're nearing 11. I don't think we're going to find him, as I clamp it shut.
Everybody give me an intelligence roll real quick.
Oh, we're gonna try these days because those ones might go back to jail. Fuckers.
I succeed.
I barely succeed with a 58.
Perfect.
I succeed as well.
Nice.
You said intelligence, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Violet fails.
Okay. The rest of you, based off of all the information you've been given, all the letters, the journal, you've kind of pieced together that this ritual seems to be the only course of action to get rid of this entity. Based off of the preparations required, you know that if you're going to do it tonight, you need to start
12.
soon, because the pentagram and the fire needs to be started and ready to go so that the chanting and the powder can be thrown in the fire at exactly midnight.
I look to the group as I get done realizing the time. I think it's now or never. as I look heroically out towards the house that I'm sure we're like in the middle of a field or something.
Gilus, if we survive this, I think I want you to be my permanent doctor.
I would love to do that. You need help, Archibald. I start walking towards the house.
As you guys all round up near the house, if you would like, give me one more occult to discern the purpose of the warding on the doors.
Oh shit, I will try, but it's a low roll for me.
Violet passed that.
Cold.
Yeah, she's the author. Oh yeah, I failed.
I
She's the
passed.
I
author.
failed.
Both
Okay.
Violet and Archibald passed.
All right. So as you kind of look at these occult symbols and start to piece together, you finally think you figured out why Mary and Alan put these on here. It's not just a warding symbol. It kind of repels malevolent creatures from whatever it seals. So based off of its orientation over the door frames and the windows, your assumption is that it prevents things from going into these two rooms of the farmhouse. But you do piece together that if any of these warding is broken, it will fail for the entire house.
Oh,
With
shit.
them being carved into the house, you think this is highly unlikely, but you know that that is kind of the key point.
Oh, because it's carved, it's like less likely to be like brushed away or some shit.
Right. Like if you had to guess, it would probably have to be like physically ripped down off the house to remove the warding.
Gotcha. We did up to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Doctor, you mentioned before. I think now is a good time to decide who does what, and we don't have a lot of time to figure that out, so I think you're the point man. How should we go about this?
Well, it depends on where we're laying out these symbols. My grandmother
likely
always
the
told
back
me
room.
that any type of spell you do has to have a grounding. So you have to have a base floor for something you're doing. Wherever this creature is, we want it within vicinity of the circle, from what I can understand.
I mean, the back room then.
Yeah, great. We can just do it right underneath the door.
So just for context, I think the map is going to help you out. So you need whatever room's got the fireplace, because you need the fire nearby.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which I
Yeah,
think
then-
it's the front room, right? Yeah, the front room.
There's a
Okay.
small wood-burning stove at the end of the kitchen area, and then there's a fireplace in the room opposite that.
Perfect.
And if you recall, you could see kind of the markings from the previous attempt from the Dark Brotherhood in the front room.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, if you guys
Yeah,
want to
so-
set it up in the back room, you're more than welcome to.
No. That's fine. I forgot about the fire part. Okay, so I remember there has to be a continuous chant, right? I think we should at least have 2 people chanting, right? And maybe a third that is also committed to chanting, but maybe, I don't know, someone needs to stay unbusy so they can fend off the fucking evil spirits?
Somebody has to mix the chemicals and burn them in the fire. And then somebody has to draw the symbols,
So
and then we have to chant.
just for meta clarification. The throwing in the fire is a one and done, and the pentagram is a one and done. So that's all to start the ritual. So the pentagram can be drawn in advance, and that's done.
Okay.
The chemicals are thrown in right at midnight, and then that person would be free to do whatever they want after that.
Okay.
Okay.
And as long as one person is chanting at any given time, it is good. So it is beneficial to have as many people chanting as possible, because that gives you leeway for one person to like get distracted and other people to still be chanting.
Okay.
Okay. So worst case scenario, 2 people chant, 2 people guard the other 2, as to kind of keep them from harm.
Who should be the watchers?
I will volunteer as a watcher. I'm a young man. I'll take on any type of danger.
And Archibald, like looking down at his gun, he's like, I think I could be a watcher, but I could also chant as well,
Maybe
just as a failsafe.
Yes, I think maybe we should all chant if possible, but we'll make an exception for you two if you're, wrestling something.
Right. Don't worry, Gillis. I got your back.
Okay.
Thank you,
Violet,
friend.
maybe we should start working on getting the theme drawn out.
So have we made it back to the farmhouse at this point?
Yes, I'll say it probably took about 15 minutes to work your way back from the woods, so we'll say it's just after
sorry,
11.
I assumed we were already there. My bad.
Oh, you guys definitely are. Just for context, we'll say it's about 11:15 at this point, based off of
Okay.
your trip back. So you got about 45 minutes before midnight, which should be enough time to get the pentagram drawn
Right.
and kind of get in position.
Let's see.
Violet, do you want to draw the pentagram?
Yes, I can go ahead and get the pentagram drawn.
So are we doing this in the main room with the main fireplace?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a door next to that in case we need to all just kind of book out.
Based off of your intelligence rolls, the warding only protects inside the house.
Inside the house.
So anything outside the house,
Right.
especially based off of your sight outside, may no longer be safe.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Well, here it goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Before we get into the actual ritual, does everybody want to take a quick break, or do we want to get right into it?
I'm ready to just fucking go.
I'm ready.
Okay,
good.
we're going to do a quick switch over here in music.
So who's our main chanters? I mean, we could all chant, but who's our main must
be
chant?
I'll be a main chanter, and I guess Violet will be the other one, right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so Violet and Gillis, you guys are able to get this pentagram set up on the floor. Who's tossing our powder into the fire there?
Doctor.
All right, Dr. Moretti, we're going to say that you're over by the fireplace with the brown powder in your hand, ready to go.
I'm ready.
At about 11:45, almost midnight, you hear upstairs in the attic as what you presume the entity has now come back into the house.
Oh!
After coming back into the house, though, there is no other sound from upstairs.
I start shaking, like looking down at the piece of paper, like rehearsing quietly to myself the Latin phrase that I will need to be able to start chanting. It's almost time. 15 minutes.
Dr. Moriarty has the container of the powder in one hand and his scalpel in the other. Prepared for anything.
Like a true doctor would.
All right. Like I said, the attic is silent at this point. As it gets closer and closer to the midnight, the tension is thick. All of the investigators can kind of feel that this is a very monumental task that they're about to take on. There may be doubts of what is real at this point. The clock strikes midnight. Dr. Moretti tosses the brown powder into the fire.
Back to hell!
You see the fire light up, and instead of like the normal orange glow that it has, it kind of has this like green sort of flickering going on from the chemicals that were in it. At this point in time, the remaining 3 investigators begin their chant.
Yes.
You guys get about 20 minutes in with nothing seeming to go astray. You guys slowly build up this confidence. The shaking that Gillis has had up until this point kind of starts to mellow out, and he begins to think, maybe we can do this. At that moment, though, you start hearing scratching and shuffling above them in the attic. It's almost like the creature above you has now pieced together what you guys are trying to do.
Oh.
Are we noticing any like
Yeah, do we
change
hear
in
it?
atmosphere? Is it getting colder?
Yeah.
Is there any visual effects that we're seeing that it might be trying to do?
Within moments of the shuffling and scratching above you, you start to hear an awful You go to hell! This won't work, you little fuckers!
Oh! Oh!
The old house sways and creaks. There's sudden jolts as like the foundation of the whole house starts to shake. Some of the objects on the shelves around you start to fall and roll across the
Fly and
floor.
fall off the shelf.
Please give me a sanity roll.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to say it.
Mother of mercy, y de Santios ma Cristo.
I pass.
Come on, stop
Oh,
rolling.
damn it, I failed.
Oh crap! I
Archibald,
got an
you
11.
failed the last one too.
Violet fails too.
I passed.
Okay, for my passes, 0 sanity.
Okay.
For my fails, 2 sanity.
Oh shit.
The
Mama
violent-
Queen.
As long as you're above 1/5, we're okay for now. Remember, it's 5 in one go that could really fuck you. As this violence and noise continues for a while, you start to smell this foul smell that starts creeping in down from the attic. You start seeing this thick, stinking goo ooze through the ceiling and dripping down the walls.
Oh.
Everybody give me a luck roll.
It smells like death.
You said luck?
Yeah.
Sweet pen.
34.
Wait, what are we rolling?
Luck.
Luck.
Okay.
Okay, I pass.
Oh my god, I failed with a 69. That's
Oh.
not nice.
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 Oh, if it meets, does it beat?
Yes.
Oh, I passed. Like, my luck's
Chitty
a
chin
40
chin.
and the roll is 40.
Oh, I failed.
Violet failed.
Okay.
Mario,
For
you pass.
for my failures, you take 1 damage as this goo that's kind of falling down, some of it splits out towards you and you get hit with some acid. So you have some acid burning through your clothing and flesh. So for everybody, you kind of now smell this like burning flesh as well. As you guys continue to chant, you guys have now hit like the 30 minute mark. Everything kind of goes quiet. Give me a listen roll.
While we're chanting?
Yes.
Listen, okay, let's go for
Violet pass.
Oh my god, I failed again, dude. I have a 60 in listen.
Well, I only have a 20, so
20.
yep, I failed for that one.
I failed. I got a 21.
Okay. Violet,
Shit.
as you're sitting there chanting, focusing, staring at your pamphlet in Latin, you start to hear this faint call. Help me.
Oh,
It's
shit.
a woman's voice. Please, someone help me. It hurts. It's forcing me. Please help me.
Oh, where's it coming from? Violet? I just look over at Violet, who stopped chanting, is just like stammering. And I stopped chanting for a second. I'm like, Violet, what's going on? Why aren't you chanting?
I then will say that I heard the voice.
What? Where?
Oh, spiritus vos pontium.
I want to say the attic.
For clarification, this would have appeared to come from outside.
Okay. Sorry.
It's a trick. It's a trick. We have to keep. And I just like look back down and I keep chanting after that.
Yeah, like Archibald's kind of like looking at the both of you as he's chanting, and he's like, come on.
Marietta's like, I don't hear nothing. All I hear is you chanting.
Violet starts chanting again.
Okay.
As you guys continue chanting, now all of you can hear it.
Oh,
Help
shit.
me! Please help me!
I stop chanting and look towards one of the windows. Do I see anything immediately outside the window?
The direction that you would the sounds coming from that window, you would see a woman's face in the window.
Archibald cocks the gun. Gilly, like, because at this point, somebody's still chanting, so he stops and says, Gillis, focus, man. Chant.
Right. I keep chanting.
Marietti closes his eyes and just focuses and chants
Okay.
in Latin.
Who all looked over at the window?
I did.
Archibald.
So you guys would have identified that not only is this a woman, this is Maggie.
I knew it!
Damn.
I knew it!
Please give me a sanity roll.
Oh shit!
Oh, no.
I pass.
Wait, just for like clarification, when we're doing the sanity roll, we base that off of the current
Yes.
starting, right? Okay, I was just making sure I was doing that right.
I passed.
Come on, please, for the love of fuck. I failed so hard.
Okay. For my pass, 1 sanity damage.
Okay.
For my fail, you take 6.
Oof.
We're going to our sanity table real quick.
6? Are you serious?
Yep.
I'm at 29 sanity.
Now they both saw. Me and Violet didn't. But do they mention what they see? Do they like yell out, Maggie?
Gillis, you
No.
will get to make the call.
I'm too shocked. I just go.
Okay.
Yeah,
For-
Archibald just points the gun at the window.
Just a sec. You just went temporarily insane because you took more than 5 points of sanity damage in one.
Oh
Oof.
my god!
And he's
I am-
holding a gun.
What does that mean?
I'm going to the sanity table right now to see what that means.
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
This is what I get for trying to help you out, Gilly.
Oh my god! Hey, you said you wanted to be a watcher. This is your job.
Okay, so what's happening is to start, you have a physical outburst. Oh my fucking god! And like just start yelling. After that, you go into physical hysterics. Hysteria. So I'm gonna let you pick your poison. You're gonna be incapacitated for the next 7 rounds, either laughing, crying, screaming, or something of the sort.
He's,
Damn.
he's gonna start laughing just at the window maniacally.
How long is 7 rounds? Is that just like?
We'll go.
We'll go based off the field. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it kind of depends on if we get into combat with anything with Maggie or the lurker. We'll say tentatively for the next like 10 minutes, unless
Yeah.
we get into specific combat.
Okay.
And you said he's on the floor, right? Like he's on the floor just laughing crazy.
Or kind of how he described, where he's kind of like waving the gun around, laughing, pointing at the window.
I just like look as I'm like nervously chanting. My voice is literally quivering as I look over at Archibald, literally laughing his ass off, and I'm just like, and I just continue to chant.
Moretti is like cracking an eye open and looking at Archibald laughing, and he's just like, what? Trying to like continue chanting, but he's like, man, what are you doing? What's wrong with you?
He laughs.
He laughs. He is the one who laughs.
I'm wondering if we should take the gun from him, but at the same time, I'm like, he's not using it, so.
He's definitely like waving it around as he's.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't have it in me to take the gun from him, so if you want to have that happen, that's going to be on you.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to take the gun from him. I put my scalpel down, and I just kind of. Well, no, I'm no longer holding the powder, so I just kind of try to go for the gun and take it from him.
Okay, give me. I think there's a. I don't think it's brawl. Is there a grapple? Give me a contested fighting with Archibald.
Okay.
So how this works with combat is you both will roll D100s. Whoever has the highest success succeeds.
Okay. I rolled a 12.
For you,
Shit,
Archibald,
nice.
roll it what we call it at disadvantage. So you'll roll 2 10 dice and take the highest of those.
It's like reverse disadvantage.
Oh shit! God damn! 98.
Okay, so that's great, right? So that means
Yes.
Moretti is successful to kind of like we'll go with like your laughing hysteria has made it very malleable to outside influence. So he's able to kind of like pry your hand out of the gun and uncock it because it's been cocked and loaded this entire time.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like laughing the whole time. He's like, "Here you go."
Moretti's just like, jump and Jehoshaphat.
As you guys have successfully kind of de-escalated the situation, Maggie, seeing as you guys haven't stopped chanting, you see her start to reach up towards the warding over the window and start
No.
scratching at it.
No! I don't. I'm a reader. I continue chanting.
Moretti sees this, now the gun in his hand.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He recocks it, points it at the window, and fires a shot.
Okay, roll me
Oh,
a
please, for the love of God.
D100. So this is going to be contested against a dodge for Maggie,
Oh, please.
which I need to
oh,
look at
good.
her stat block here.
Let's see what I got. I rolled a 28.
Not bad. Not bad.
All right, that hits. I'm trying to remember. Archibald, do you have the gun on your stat block from last session?
Yeah.
What's the damage?
It's just it damages 1d10.
Okay.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll that for me, Moretti.
Okay, let me grab another dice.
And was that a regular, hard, or extreme success?
I have a 40 in firearms.
Okay, so that's you rolled a 12.
No, I rolled a 28.
Okay, so just a regular success.
Just-
Got it.
Just a regular success, yeah.
D10. Here we go.
Come on.
8 damage.
Nice, dude. Solid roll.
Do you want to describe how you
Yeah, dude. Let's hear it.
end zombie?
Oh,
Maggie.
Moriarty hears the scratching against the wall and sees Gillis's face just in horror yelling no, realizing that if the board comes off, there's a major issue. And he just kind of side pivots with one hand, and having gone on hunting trips with his father, and his father being in the mob, he's familiar with guns.
Oh,
He
shit.
just cocks it, looks her dead in the eye, and just thinks she's already dead. It's fine, and just fires the shot. And it
Shatters
just
the window.
singly goes right through the window, shattering glass, a loud boom, and nails her right in the head, dead between the eyes.
Oh, fuck.
And you
yeah,
see
dude.
kind of the scratching arms kind of like just fall back. It's not even like there's no sound as she falls back. It's just a dull thump
Oh,
into the grass outside.
nice, dude.
At this point, you start hearing the cars outside, the horns start blaring.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. They're gonna cut our tires out.
That's what you're worried about?
It was a rental.
When I start hearing the horns honking, because of the gunshot and now the loud horns, I'm getting more elevated and begin to start yelling the chant.
Nice.
Violet's just calmly reading it, ignoring everything right
I'm laughing.
Seeing
I
as
also resume my chanting.
Seeing as none of this seems to be affecting you, there's this pleasant aroma that starts seeping out of the kitchen. Think of whatever like your character's like favorite homemade meal would be. That's kind of the smell that starts resonating out of the kitchen, enticing you to enter and leave the ritual.
Mama's chicken parmesan.
Salisbury steak with a turkey gravy and potato mash. How tempting is the smell? Like, how tempted do I feel?
I mean, I guess it depends on personal preference. Think of it as like if you walked into your home residence and this was on the stove when you walked into your house, what would you normally do? That's like how enticing it would be. Like a Thanksgiving dinner, you walk in and you can just smell Thanksgiving dinner on the table.
Feeling overtaken, I sort of like kind of blinked a little bit, realizing like how hungry I am, and I put my paper down on the floor and start walking towards the kitchen.
Mario's shocked, like he doesn't understand why smelling, marinara sauce right now. He doesn't understand he's not even hungry. He's eaten, but he's like, why am I smelling my mother's marinara sauce right now? Like, why? And I know it's hers.
I will say, going towards the kitchen, I sort of left uncharacteristically.
Mariotti sees this and goes, Gillis, where are you going, man? We have to chant.
I know, but Oh, and I grab my stomach and I kind of take a couple more steps towards the kitchen.
Give me
Where are you going?
give me a psychology roll.
Okay. Okay.
Am I
He's
still
going.
laughing?
Yep. You're also drooling a little.
We'll say about this point in time, your hysteria has finally kind of come to an end. It's been, I'd say, about 10 minutes since your initial onset.
I pass.
Perfect. Gillis, your mental fortitude kind of kicks in, and you realize this is a shithole of a farmhouse. There's no way that you would have Salisbury steak sitting in here ready to go.
I turn around feverishly. The house is playing tricks. Don't let it fool your mind. And I like scramble back over to the floor, almost tripping over myself to pick up the paper to continue to chant.
It's Satan's Salisbury steak.
Yeah.
Archibald's gonna go back to like chanting, but you can hear like the shakiness in his voice.
So we're now closing in on about 40 minutes, 45 minutes of chanting. Upstairs, you can hear some more aggressive scratching, almost like desperation. The cursing and like just snarling of the creature increases.
Oh, dude.
You hear the sirens out, the horns of the cars finally end, and then you hear another voice. Why did you let me leave?
Oh no! Jake!
I told you, you shouldn't linger here any longer.
Oh my god! Get out of here!
Moretti is now cursing in Italian at both Red Jake and the thing upstairs.
Is Red Jake like at the window now, or what the fuck?
Not yet. Yeah, it's like just
Okay.
barely able to hear. Is music back up?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
I
Any-
continue. I just continue to chant.
Archibald will continue to chant.
As the voice gets a little bit closer, you should have left while you had a chance. And you start hearing scratching over the same window that you had seen Maggie's
Shut
body.
Maggie out of? Oh fuck. Okay.
Doctor, shoot it!
Moretti looks over and
Give me a sanity roll real quick.
Okay.
Oh shit.
because I've never even seen Red Jake or Jack or whatever he is.
Which kind of benefits you because it's less sanity because you haven't seen the dead body. begin with?
That is 52, and I think that's a fail.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay. Give me just a sec.
Now I've got the pistol.
All right, right.
You're only
Stop running
taking
around with two fingers.
2 sanity damage from that.
Two sanity. Okay.
At this point, Dr. Moretti, you can clearly see this gentleman that's kind of got a scraggly sort of beard. Not well kept, but similar to Maggie. There's a huge hole in his chest
Oh shit.
that you can clearly see is the same sort of wound that you found on Maggie, implying the same thing that happened to her happened to this individual.
I am gonna go ahead and, even though I'm shaken, and I can see the hearts missing from him, I know too, clinically, that he's dead. So I aim the pistol at him as well. Does Red Jake say anything as I go to shoot him?
Aside from You should have left when you had a chance, and he continues to scrape at the warding above the window.
I look at him, and I pull the trigger, and I say, "Have a heart."
Nice one-liner.
All right, roll for damage.
Let's see. That one is 7.
Hey!
Where are you aiming?
I'm aiming for the head once again.
So you see the bullet go in, strike him dead center. His head kind of rocks back, and then he goes back to scraping at the warding.
Oh no.
You should have left when I warned you.
Wait, he didn't die?
No.
No.
His head rolled back, and he rolled right back and stared at us. I told you.
Oh, I keep reading!
This window, where is it located near the fireplace? Like, is it lower to the south?
Let me look at the
Yeah, I'm looking at
mapperoni
the picture,
here.
Hold on. It's right. Is it the one right by the sofa?
Yes.
On the right side or the left side?
Like,
Well, it should be to the left, because, like, the fireplace is on the far left to the west.
yeah.
So would it be the one by that, where there are those blankets on the floor?
Yeah.
Or
by
is it the
number
one by
6?
the recliner
Yeah.
chair?
Oh, I thought number 7 was the wood-burning stove.
Sorry, just a sec.
7
it
is
is.
the wood-burning stove, but 5 is the fireplace.
5 is the fireplace.
Oh, my bad.
It's right, but it would be like the ones below 6 on the map there.
Okay.
By
okay.
6, okay. Moretti puts the gun in his back belt, and since he's by the fireplace, he grabs the bar for the back door that's on the floor there,
Like
and he's just that number
poker?
4, the bar. Is it a poker?
like the
just says
stir the
bar.
fire.
It says bar for back door for number 4 on the map.
Oh, I think that's like to block the door.
Yeah, it's like a wooden bar.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're
It
taking
It
it off
seems
the
to be
door
on the floor, so if it's not already off, I'm gonna yank it off,
for like a makeshift club.
and I'm gonna just straight
Fuck yeah.
go out the window,
Shot
and
in
I'm
the
gonna
dead.
ramrod this thing in its face.
Perfect. Let's see what makes the most sense weapon-wise. I think I'm gonna go with a large club. Roll
Makes
me
sense.
damage. It's gonna be a 1d8 plus your damage bonus. Which your damage bonus is 0, so just 1d8 straight.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That's a 5.
Nice.
All right, describe
Nice.
to me how you end this reanimated Red Jake.
Nice.
Moretti seeing Red Jake's head come back up is beyond belief. Like, it defies everything he's ever learned in his medical books. This just should not be able to happen. So in a fit of not only just madness, but kind of rage of the situation, because it just defies what he knows.
Right.
He looks over the door and he sees the bar, and he just kind of puts the gun in his belt, runs over, lifts that bar, and it's a hefty piece of solid oak. He just positions it under his arm and just kind of runs at him like
Jousting style?
yes,
jousting?
exactly,
Yes,
like
yes.
jousting.
Joust him for
And
the
he
fucking
braces
chest.
his arm on the top and slams it through the window, the remaining glass shattering, and nails Red Jake square in his nose. Just you hear bone and cartilage just crunching as he hits, and it rocks his head back like a boxer in the ring, and he just flies back a few feet and just drops.
Hell yeah,
I imagine
dude.
that whole thing like the scenes in Mortal Kombat when it goes X-ray.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
The whole frontal lobe just breaks in.
And he's like, I told you. Whack.
Wow.
Perfect. At this point, you guys have, between intermittent pauses and everything, been able to maintain this chant for about 55 minutes.
Holy shit.
At this point, you start to see this wisp of an oily smoke that kind of curls down from the ceiling of the attic into the center of
God.
your pentagram.
Oh.
At this point, the creature becomes locked into here.
Ah!
Reginald keeps chanting. A little bit
Yeah.
louder, a little more
Yeah.
shaky.
Same.
As this smoky, oily sort of condenses, instead of this like horrific creature that you all expect, Moretti, you see Maria, and she looks at you. Moretti, you're here. You've come for me.
Oh my god.
Maria. What is this? You died. Is it really you? My love.
Everybody give me a psychology roll.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, balls. That's...
I fail.
Hang on, right?
With the 60, I fail.
That was I passed on the 5th level.
Oh,
I
critical.
rolled a 14 and I still failed.
You failed with a 14? That isn't... Oh, is your psychology that low?
It is, yeah. I'm more medical than anything.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
Violet passed.
All right, Violet and Archibald. You, the true believers of the group, can clearly tell, based off of what you pieced together from the journal, that this is clearly an attempt by the Jinn to trick you guys into making a false step. It's almost like a last desperate call
Attempt.
to trick the investigators into either breaking the pentagram or stopping the chant.
Archibald stopped
Gillis
chanting.
and Moretti, you're completely oblivious. You don't know
Yeah.
why there's this young lady here, but as far as you can tell, she is who she appears to be.
Yeah. I continue
Perfect.
chanting.
Moretti has like tears in his eyes and he's shakingly reaching out to her.
Archibald stops chanting to shout, Don't listen to it. This is a trick. Keep chanting, my friend. Keep chanting.
Chanting? Look, chant what? That's
That's
Maria.
not- That's not Maria. That's not real. Lad, come on. See? You know she's dead. This is a trick. You need to chant.
Wait. What did she call me? Did she call
God.
me Moretti?
Damn it, man. Chant.
Maria, how? How can this be, Madre Dios?
Sensing
What's
that
gonna
it's
happen?
losing its hold on Dr. Moretti, it shifts. Archibald, you see your grandfather. Look what I've gotten you to believe in. Without me, you wouldn't have made it this far. I can give you more. All of the occult could be at the tip of your fingers.
I watched you leave this world.
Death is only the beginning.
Oh shit.
Would
Does
Archibald
Moretti see that he's transformed into something else?
Yes, everybody would see this shift.
does
At this point,
Archibald
Moretti
feed
is
into
like now started to scream the chant because he is furious.
Would Archibald feed into this?
Give me a psychology roll again.
Oh fuck!
That's a fail.
Oh.
Yes, Archibald, the sudden shift, and we'll say not only did he shift into your grandfather, the smells that you associated with your grandfather are also there. So it's about as like real and tactile to you as it could possibly be.
Old cigars and whiskey.
Do you want the occult? I can give it to you. Just come towards me.
Poppy, you know I want it so bad. As Archibald kind of slowly starts to inch forward.
Violet, do something as I continue to chant.
Violet just is so focused on what she's doing, she looks up briefly, sees what's going on, but keeps chanting because she knows.
Moretti at that point walks into front of him, grabs Archibald by his lapels, and starts violently shaking him as he's screaming the chant, thus doing for him what he did for me to try to help me. And he's just Sante Sorcisimo!
Oh yeah.
Give me another psychology roll with a bonus die.
Oh man.
Me or him?
You. Everybody else has kind of pieced together the shape shifting. It's not personal to them, so they're kind of piecing together what's going on.
How do I do a bonus die?
So roll 2 tenths place, take the lower of those, and then roll one's place.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That'd be a pass.
Oh,
Perfect.
thank God.
Nice.
This last-ditch
Oh my
effort
God.
by Moretti to kind of pull you back in is able to work, and you realize there's no way this could be your grandfather, even from the other side. There's no... One, he wasn't aware of the occult, and he was a deep non-believer. So you know that he would never, like, feed into this.
Archibald steps backwards away from Pappy as he starts to read the chant again, holding his middle finger out in front of him.
At this point, it's almost exactly an hour from whenever you started the ritual. The same sort of oily, wispy smoke that you had seen come down into the pentagram, it starts to happen again, except this time it's almost like there's this vortex into another plane of existence as the smoke starts billowing into it, as you hear,
Nice.
"I will be back for all of you! I know your names! I know your family! No one is safe!" As the entity disappears.
Yes.
Back
Yes.
to hell, demon.
As the entity disappears, there's this unearthly foulness that just covers the entire room. You've never smelled something of this nature before. It's just rank.
Oh.
Oh, ritorno el demone dell'inferno.
Is that it? Did we do it? I just trying to not throw up and cough.
Moriarty's just shaking, sweating, and just kind of not sure if he even believes everything he just saw. He can't even process it right now.
Everyone, I think we should go. We gotta get out of here. And I start making a beeline to the front door.
Moriarty picks up his medical bag, pulls out a small silver capsule box, puts something in his mouth, swallows it, nods firmly, and says, "Yeah, let's get the hell out of here."
Archibald, we need to leave. As I start opening the front door.
Archibald agrees, and he turns to follow you.
Violet's already out the door.
And I cranked my puppy up, get that engine started.
As you guys get into your cars, you start them up, and you start heading back into Ross's Corners. This feeling of not only success, but knowing that you were able to please this dying man's wish and remove this entity, that as you kind of piece the puzzle together, you realize that unlike what the Dark Brotherhood assumed, this entity had never been caged to the house, and if left to its own devices would have continued to spread further and further. So you've ended this, at least for now.
Wow.
You all gain a 1d10 plus 1 sanity point to your current value,
Cool.
and all of you get a plus 1% to your Cthulhu mythos.
Oh, what?
Hey.
You said 1d10 plus 1 for sanity?
Yep.
God damn it, I got a 1.
And is that the same with what we roll for the mythos?
No, the mythos
No,
is just a straight 1%.
Oh, one. Okay, gotcha. Nice.
Can you go, so if it's a 1d10 plus 1 to sanity, can you go above your starting base, or does it just
Yes,
reset
you
to
can
that?
go above your starting.
Oh, you can?
Mhm.
Oh, then that means I'm above everybody. I'm at 101.
Good God, man.
Well, you can't go above 99.
Oh, okay, then 99.
Sorry. I forgot that your sanity was that high to begin with.
Yeah, I'm a pretty sane therapist over here.
And what were we getting after that?
A 1% increase to Cthulhu Mythos. For most of you, that just means you now have 1%. Violet should have 2% now.